This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
What's up? It's your boy, The Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you, we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Stephen Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed, and today we toast NASA and cheesiness. Now, in case you don't know, early yesterday morning, NASA made history when their Ingenuity helicopter became the first aircraft in history to make a powered, controlled flight on another plane. All right, so Ingenuity climbed to a height of 10 feet, maintained a stable hover for 30 seconds, and the flight itself was completely autonomous. Couldn't do it from Earth, all right? So for space nerds like myself, this is a significant milestone worth celebrating. But it turns out I'm not alone, all right? People make fun of me. Guess who else is a space nerd, Miles? Arnold Schwarzenegger, is that what you're about to say?
That's exactly
you
what I
are
was
correct.
thinking,
Arnold
yes.
Schwarzenegger, turns out, also a space nerd. He's quite excited about the achievement. In fact, Arnold, because he's Arnold, he sent a congratulatory video to the folks at NASA where Arnold, being Arnold, he couldn't resist two Arnoldisms. And I just want you to remember one thing. Last week, there had been an interview with his son, Patrick Schwarzenegger. And he was on the Kelly Clarkson show. They said, does your dad drop all the one-liners from his movies? And he said, look, I grew up with this. Like, I'm tired of it, but yeah, he does.
Every time he leaves the room, he go, I'll be back.
Because Arnold can't help himself. So here is audio from the video that Arnold Schwarzenegger sent to the folks at NASA. See if you can find the two movies that he references.
Hello, my friends at NASA. You know, when I heard about this helicopter ride that you're going to do on Mars, it was like I was so excited about that immediately I wanted to just scream out and say, get your ass to Mars. But then I realized you're already on Mars. I mean, what the hell am I talking about? So I said to myself, this is really fantastic. We're all celebrating for the first time to have a helicopter take off on Mars. And then I cannot wait for all the footage and all what this looks like and so on. So I think the only thing that I can say, since we're dealing with a helicopter, is, what do you think? Yes. Get to the chopper! Got that one, huh?
Jesus, Arnold being Arnold.
Get to the topper.
Week.
Arnold cannot be Arnold. No. I mean, get to the chopper. Yeah, NASA, good job. Yeah. Yeah. Arnold. Oh, by the way, the other one he dropped was get your ass to Mars from Total Recall. That is correct. All right. So it's NASA and Arnold Schwarzenegger. We pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy!
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bijola.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Stephen Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. You know, we were talking about people being picky on their profiles, dating profiles. Mm-hmm. This guy says, I like my women 2 foot 3 inches tall with a flat head. And I'll just leave it.
Jesus. Come on.
Jesus Christ. Yeah. So it's a simple game where we share with you a real life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Jeff. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola, bitches.
Hola. All right, Jeff, you understand how this here game is played?
I sure do.
All right, you have one of three categories to choose from. The wonderful world of drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, interior decorating, where you guess the foreign object that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's go with Bite Me.
Just eat it. Get yourself an egg and beat it.
All right, Bite Me it is. A man who says that he found something gross in his KFC chicken wing also says he won't be eating at the fast food chain anytime soon. According to the English paper The Daily Mail, the Australian man, Mark Nichols, he was, quote, shocked after chomping down on the thing. And that's what made the discovery so much worse. Nichols said, quote, it was absolutely vile. Now, allegedly, a spokesman for KFC said that this thing he found was most likely, a piece of the chicken that was mistakenly not removed during preparation in the food. Well, in the end, they figured out what the offending object was, and the question is, what was it? Because it was, in fact, from the chicken. It just had not been separated from the rest of the meat. Did he bite into a lung, a kidney, a beak, or a brain? So lung, kidney, beak, or brain, he bit into one of these when he was eating his food.
I got an idea, but what do you guys think? I'm thinking that if it was the lung or the brain, it probably would have just cooked up, don't you think?
Maybe.
The beak, now, that would probably stick around even after it were cooked up. Now, what was the other one?
Kidney.
Lung, brain, beak, and...
Kidney.
Now, English people will eat kidneys. I think beak. What do you guys think?
Was it a whole chicken wing, or was this like an order of specific chicken wings?
I do not know. It just says it's chicken wing. So it might have just been the wing
like
that's in a bucket.
Right, like he got like let's say a 3-piece.
I track with it. My assumption is he got a meal for himself, say 3-piece or a bucket, but this one particular piece, when he bit into it, there was an extra piece of chicken in there.
I'm going to go lung, Jeff.
Why is that, Miles?
Just based on the attachment point of the body with the wing, it might have just been on the underneath side. I don't disagree with the fact that a beak is pretty noticeable. I'm just wondering how it got attached to a chicken wing. I know for a fact that those damn things don't have a brain, so that's too small to know when you bite into it. Not sure about a kidney, but I'm going to go lung.
Yeah, lung makes sense, and it would be crunchy. But you know what? I'll go with beak.
You're going to go beak?
Yeah.
All right, Ted. I'm all right. I'm with Ted. I'm going to go beak. Final answer, guys.
You guys are on team beak. Okay. We're going to find out what he bit into, a lung, kidney, beak, or brain next.
That was a tease.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
I'm Glennon Doyle, author of Untamed and host of the podcast We Can Do Hard Things. Each week, we talk openly and honestly about the hard things in life together with you. So join us and some of our dearest friends and greatest heroes to talk about anxiety, boundaries, parenting, infidelity, our bodies, loving and losing, all of the things that make us human. Listen to and follow We Can Do Hard Things on Odyssey and everywhere you get your podcasts.
The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill. 99.9 KISW.
Category is Bite Me on Profile. This week in Manny City, found something in his chicken wing. They had a KFC down in Australia. After a further inspection, the manager said, yes, That is something in your chicken wing, but it looks like it's another part of the chicken itself. So the question is, what was that extra part attached to the said wing? Was it a lung, a kidney, a beak, or a brain?
And that is the very question that we posed to you, my friend Jeff. You agreed with D. Ted Smith that it was a beak.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I am sorry. Now, Miles, you went the anatomical route and just said, all right, man, as I break this down, I don't know, but he was eating a wing specifically, it would make sense that a lung would stay attached to that. And you are correct.
Okay. I can breathe easy on that answer. Now for all TV news all the time for TV Time at 10.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, Armageddon. The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices today. The Jimmys.
Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Okay.
Trevor Noah. Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
That's right. It's right there in the title. All these guys are teams of talents, writers, helping come up with the monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late-night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
A new poll shows Matthew McConaughey leading Governor Abbott by 12 points in a hypothetical matchup for the governor of Texas. Between this and 420, it might be the best week of his life.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Ted Smith.
Jimmy Fallon.
Some political news. A new poll shows Matthew McConaughey is leading Governor Greg Abbott by 12 points in a hypothetical matchup for governor of Texas. That's right. McConaughey is leading the polls between that and 420. This is the best week of his life, maybe.
There are reports that sports announcer Joe Buck wants the job as permanent host of Jeopardy, but it'll be harder than getting his current job since his dad was never the host of Jeopardy.
Ted Smith.
Yeah, Ted Smith.
Yeah, that was me. And I like Joe Buck. Have a little fun with him. According to research, waking up to your favorite song can make you feel more alert and less groggy. It will also, in a week, make you hate your favorite song.
Fallon. Yeah, Fallon.
Myers.
According to research, waking up to your favorite song can make you feel more alert and less groggy. It will also, in a week, make you hate your favorite song.
You still wake up to songs?
No, I wake up to that annoying thing on my phone.
I wake up to either my kids asking me something or the dog licking my head.
Well, I should have said songs. Yeah, I'm with you. I either wake up on my own or to the alarm.
Yep.
McDonald's is partnering with Korean pop band BTS for a meal with a 10-piece chicken nugget, medium fries, and a drink. Just so there's no confusion, you get your BTS order at McDonald's and your IBS order from White Castle.
God, I hope that's you, Ted. Please be you.
Ted Smith.
Jimmy Fallon.
McDonald's partnering with popular Korean pop band BTS. The meal features 10-piece chicken nuggets, medium fries, and a Coke.
Just so there's no confusion, you get your BTS order at McDonald's and you get your IBS order at White Castle.
Oh, Jimmy!
Oh,
you crazy SOB!
Hit a homer on that one.
Federal regulators on Saturday issued an emergency safety order for Peloton's Tread Plus treadmill. The warning reads, "Do not get this for your wife unless she explicitly asks for it."
Seth Meyers.
Ted Smith.
Seth Meyers.
Federal regulators on Saturday issued an emergency safety warning for Peloton's Tread Plus treadmill. The warning reads, "Do not get this for your wife unless she explicitly asks for it."
All right, so obviously, what's going on this week, Miles?
Oh, we're just kind of hanging out doing our thing.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah.
I can't get a sound effect. You're too slow.
Sorry, my bad. How are you? I was distracted.
I like the Miles actually explains it. Well,
I'm, just hanging out.
So obviously, this time of year, there's always lists that come out or whatever.
Sure.
Right? So first, I have a list from Rolling Stone about the top 10 stoner movies. But what do you guys categorize as a stoner movie or show?
I think it depends on what generation you're from.
But does it have to have explicit weed use in it?
I think it's a central focus of the movie.
If you call it a stoner movie, I would have I would get into the Greek. Even though it's more drunk and drugs, but still, anything where weed's the focal point. Pineapple Express.
In the 70s and the early 80s, that's a great example. Cheech and Chong kind of dominated. All their movies were stoner movies. But that doesn't mean like they did in a weird way. Fast Times at Ridgemont High was a stoner movie because it was Jeff Spicoli was one of the main characters. He was constantly stoned. And then you get into, the McConaughey movie. What the hell is it? What am I spacing out?
Oh, Dazed and Confused.
Dazed and Confused.
Yeah, for sure.
And then all those movies that kind of spawned that. So there seems like there's a lot. Just depends on what generation you grew up in, you know?
All right. But also, I guess sometimes for me, too, I feel like people who are under the influence of marijuana.
Like movies that are not stoner movies.
Right, that are just funny.
Yeah.
So, like, to me, old school, I would still call it kind of like a stoner movie. Now, obviously, there's no weed use in it.
But yeah, it's a movie to watch if you're a stoner.
Well, Snoop Dogg shows up. I don't know if he smokes on stage. Snoop Duluth.
Yeah, Snoop is there. Yeah, you're right. I guess sometimes, too, it's like, I guess you're right. To be a quote-unquote stoner movie, it has to have weed in it.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like Friday or... I don't know. It's kind of on the
Well, we got to get to the list first, bro.
Oh, sorry.
All right. So this is Rolling Stone, not mine.
Okay.
So you could email me. I'm not going to email you back. Yeah. Number 10 on the list, they put True Romance. But see, there's right?
That's a famous scene with Brad Pitt smoking out of a honey bear on the couch, and he's pretty stoned. But other than that, I'm not really sure... It's a great movie to watch stoned.
Right.
It's a great scene with Brad Pitt. It's one of my favorite scenes he's ever done. It's hilarious, I think. But I don't know if I call that a stoner.
Some of his best work.
All right, so number 9 on the list, they have one. If Mike brings up this movie one more time, I'm going to smack him. 2004 Soul Plane.
Oh, God. Mike, you talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Is that worth
It holds up.
Is that worth a watch?
100%. I have seen Soul Plane.
Yes.
I don't know that I went back to see it again.
Okay, all right.
But I mean, it's Snoop. I want to say Kevin Hart's in that movie too.
All right.
Oh man,
that's enough for me.
Right. They put number 8. They put Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, people are saying that here. Sure, that's a stoner movie.
Man, it has been so long since I've seen that movie. I do not remember it. Now, 7th on the list is Friday. Friday, I would count.
Okay, it's on the list.
Right, because it plays such a major role in the movie, right? I mean, his whole Friday just kind of gets a little weird and wacky on him there.
Don't worry, Ted. Kevin Hart was actually in Soul Plane.
He was?
Yeah.
He doesn't even have to look that up. He just knows.
I know.
I remember these things.
Well, I was pretty sure it's Kevin Hart, and it's like, I hope it's just not a different short dude. It was Danny DeVito.
Oh, no.
Number 6 on the list, they had Harold and Kumar go to White Castle.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Remember, if you ever see Harold and Kumar 2, warning, the movie has bees in it. Berries.
Oh, okay.
Testicles, Mike.
All right.
Man stuff.
Gotcha.
I haven't seen the sequels, so that's good to know.
Just hey, look, I'm giving you a heads up. It's that catches you off guard that, like, me and my buddy, we came up with this rule that we've been talking about. Like, yeah, that's a rule now. The movie just say, hey, you're going to see some.
A human Crown Royal bag.
Keep it together.
All right, number 5 of Rolling Stone's top 10 stoner movies, they have How High?
Sure.
I don't think I've seen that.
I mean, it's Red Man and Method Man. You actually would like How High.
Okay.
Yeah. Just try. Red Man.
I believe if it's a stoner movie, I'm in.
Right. And if you said, hey, Red Man and Method Man are just going to be like, they used to have a TV show together.
Right.
And part of it was just their pranks weren't that good, but they thought they were awesome. And just the two of them were like.
The joy that they had in there.
Right. They're like, you're like, God damn, they're having fun. And they start laughing, then you're laughing.
All right.
Yeah. I just remember like, and when they did prank somebody, they weren't like, you know, some prank shows like, hey, we got you. Yeah. They were like, oh!
Covering their shirts and stuff.
Right, it was awesome. Cheech and Chong's next movie, 1980. That makes the list of stoner movies.
That was a good one.
Any of them.
Number 3 on the list, Pineapple Express. Yeah. Which kind of, you get that. Number 2, Miles, you mentioned it earlier, Dazed and Confused. Mike, have you watched that or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Great soundtrack.
That's her favorite movie, and yeah.
For the music alone, that's a great
What's the one they're trying to get you into that you don't want, that you gave up on? Was that Clerks?
Clerks, yeah. I couldn't do Clerks.
And then number 1, they put The Big Lebowski.
All right.
Yeah, a lot of people said that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Standpoint of sitting back and having a good time. That's a great movie.
I can't believe Half Baked didn't make their list.
Up in Smoke.
Jim Brewer, was that Half Break?
Jim Brewer's in Dave Chappelle.
Right. Yep, I do remember that. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.
Geico asks, how would you love a chance to save some money on insurance? Of course you would. And when it comes to great rates on insurance, Geico can help. Like with insurance for your car, truck, motorcycle, boat, and RV. Even help with homeowners or renters coverage. Plus, add an easy-to-use mobile app, available 24-hour roadside assistance, and more, and Geico is an easy choice. Switch today and see all the ways you could save. It's easy. Simply go to geico.com or contact your local agent today.
Your home equity. It could be an untapped opportunity instead of an untouchable asset. Introducing HomeTap. HomeTap is an investor, not a lender. They give you cash in exchange for a share of your home's future value. Use it to pay off debt, make renovations, fund a business, or just live a better life. There's no interest or monthly payments to worry about. HomeTap. Get more from home ownership. Get more from life. Subject to eligibility, terms and conditions apply. Visit HomeTap.com to apply in minutes. That's HomeTap.com.
The men's room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. A lonely goose falls in love with a woman, then breaks things off and marries a duck. Meanwhile, a man goes fishing in Montana. He did get some bites from a bear as big as a truck. In Korea, some are concerned when a sex doll shop opens next to a school. A dog mom t-shirt accidentally looks like a big, thick family jewel. And in a shock to no one, survey says living near hazardous waste sites that it can shorten your life. It is time for your headline.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my call.
All right, top story. We take to the internet where a company is trying to sell shirts. They've advertised a funny dog mom t-shirt that they're trying to sell to consumers. The design is simple enough. It shows a cartoon dog leaning his head into to a head pet by its owner. Both the hand and the dog are colored with the same floral pattern. The issue is, the way the dog is drawn, it looks way too much like a giant penis.
It does. I thought you were showing me a picture of a penis.
Right.
And that's a dog.
To be honest with you, when I look for the news stories that I'm going to bring to you guys at this particular point, I just start clicking a bunch of headlines that I will then read as I go down the list.
Sure.
I pulled this one up, and there was no headline to the story. It was just the ad for the shirt, and all I saw was this big mushroom and a hand over the top of it. I had to look for the closed eye and smiling mouth of the dog.
So, I mean, it shouldn't be like the magic eye.
Right.
And if it is like the magic eye, it shouldn't start with penis.
Correct.
You could say it starts with a dog, and if you start long enough there, but not like, hey, this penis you're looking at, just keep staring.
Right.
I promise, it'll be a dog.
In other news, fitting for the day, we go to Oklahoma City where someone stole a truck. A Frito-Lay delivery driver made a stop at a local convenience store, but made the mistake of keeping his truck unlocked and running. You guys see where this is going. Seizing opportunity, a man jumped into the driver's seat and took off with the truck, leading police on a chase. He was eventually apprehended when officers used spike strips and even shot out his tires. But the story has no info on just how much of the product that he consumed during the chase.
None yet.
I mean, he's not driving real fast, eating a bag of chips.
I was going to say, and those trucks aren't that fast.
No.
I mean, look.
The fact that they brought it up means that he cracked open a bag or two while he was
driving.
say
this. Of all the trucks, then you fill them up, and then you take them to the weight station, right? Mm-hmm. The chip truck's got to be pretty light.
That's fair.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Half those bags are full of air.
Oh, yeah.
Chips are already light. It's not like it's like really weighed down.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Fritos might be the heaviest thing in there.
Which truck rolling down the road would you want to steal? A Frito-Lay truck, like a beer truck, Hostess truck.
Krispy Kreme, maybe?
Krispy Kreme ain't bad.
Oh, you just don't have time to eat all the product before it expires.
I know.
Well, are we getting away with it?
Sure. You're gonna make it a ways you're gonna be able to consume the product, and then you'll ditch the truck somewhere. You'll get away with it.
I mean, you can eat on Fritos. You're not gonna eat all of everything in there.
I'm gonna steal an Amazon truck.
Ooh, not bad.
I mean, it's just gonna be like, like
it's a surprise.
Like I bought one of those storage lockers. I'm just gonna go through stuff and see what I got. You know what I mean?
You're gonna get pet food.
Yeah, I'm gonna get whatever. Who knows?
I think I might be going beer truck.
Right? The good and classic. One that everybody likes.
It's classic, but they expect me to steal that.
I want to get stuck behind you in traffic. Hey, a video was making the rounds online of a woman making a friend in a local park. While out one day enjoying the sights, the woman said that she was approached by an unlikely animal, a goose. She says the goose took to her rather quickly and would even follow her after she attempted to leave the animal behind.
Yeah, you look good from behind, girl.
She did eventually break away from the animal, but says that she still frequently goes back to the park to visit him and even cleans up around the pond.
He goosed her. Not only that, but she took that goose to an animal sanctuary.
Yes.
Dropped him off, and I can't remember the exact, it's a domestic goose, which means that the bird cannot fly.
Okay.
Right.
All right. So the bird is like walking down the street and everything. So she had no family or friends, so she took this thing to the sanctuary, and then her goose fell in love with the duck.
Right.
And then they married the goose and the duck at the bird sanctuary.
Hey, girls,
and she still goes to the bird sanctuary to see this goose. When she walks in the gate, the damn thing goes nuts. And goes up and gives her a big hug with its wings. It's the damnest thing you've seen.
It is, man. But I married a duck.
Well, yeah.
Hey, girl, you know I like this duck. She's a referee and blows fouls.
She's just the side piece. A video in Australia is getting some criticism for being a little bit too confusing. The video is meant to be shown to children to teach them about sex consent and how it makes people feel when consent is taken out of the equation. To do this, they picture a couple sitting at a table sipping milkshakes, and the woman smears her milkshake all over the man's face, telling him to, quote, drink it all. The government is pulling the video despite having spent millions on its production.
Wait, what are they trying to teach his kids?
So it is the weirdest
Were you listening to this earlier?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I was in here watching it, just trying to break down what exactly they were trying to get across.
I thought that was one long setup to a Kellis joke.
No, man.
About milkshakes and yards.
No, what they did is they would just sit there. She's like, you want to try some of my milkshake? And he tries some. He's like, oh, that's good. That's consent. I'm asking. You're saying yes. And boom, there it is. Then she just grabs like a big old handful and just smears it all over his face. Drink it all. See, this is why it's not okay.
That's what they spent millions of dollars.
Pretty much.
They came up with that.
Pretty much.
We're in the wrong business.
Yes, we are. All right, that's enough for the headlines there. We had a little game that we were playing on the show today due to, we pulled a magic name out of the hat. Yesterday, you all might have known.
One of the names of the members of the show.
That's right.
It was magical, though.
It was magical. Sorry, I'm flowering things up a little bit here. So Ted was our winner yesterday being drawn out of the hat, and so we drew another name out today. We put it all up to you for all of us that follow us at Men's Room Live on Twitter. And here's how the results came. In fourth place with 19% of the vote, people were almost positive that Ted was not drawn out of the hat today. Ted got fourth place at 19%.
Okay. All right, very good, Ted.
In third place, they believe I was the least likely chosen at 21.5%, so I made third place there on that vote, and it came down to you two, and it was a close vote. So the one that the people believe was drawn out of the hat today with 30.7%, Miles, they believe that you were the one that was drawn out of the hat today. All right. People of Twitter, I am sorry, but for the second day in a row, it was our own The Ted Smith that was drawn out of the hat.
Thank you, folks. Thank you.
Good night.
All right. And that is it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Yeah. We'll see you next time for Who Sucks Less. The lovely Taryn Daly's up next.
Yes, indeed. It's all true, but in the meantime, we be all about this bitch. So until tomorrow, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network. Oh, man! A Double Flush production.